Hello there, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Fragments of Loss, our Rangers of a Broken World series happening here on Sword and Key. You are here, whether you are new or returning, for session 6 of this series. That's right, folks. We are at, as of this session, the halfway point of this series. Oh my god, it's been so many weeks, and my sadness cannot be any higher for the fact that, sadly, Amber, due to some personal reasons, is not going to be here this evening. So we are going to have to deal with these three here, who I'm sure will treat me kind. Don't you give me that like that expression, Sebastian. I know what you're capable of. I know what foul deeds you do. But no, in actuality, we wish Amber the best, and we hope that they'll be feeling better by next week. But in the meantime, thank you to everyone who's either been consistently turning out, or if you're new here, great, nice to have you here. This series is a charity game. Very important to note that, because our players can actually have their game affected by folks in the chat's willingness to try and donate and give some support to the charity we are supporting, which is Trans Lifeline, which, given the current administration's consistent and devoted effort to make trans existence be terrible and non-existent, is very important right now. So with that being said, if you are able to comfortably support Trans Lifeline by donating, you will be able to affect the game by giving things like rerolls, auto crits, auto successes, or folks ignoring a lot of major negative impacts that happen in the course of crisis modes and in the course of just making rolls. So please feel free to consider that. Again, it is no obligation for you with tuning into the stream that you have to, but we appreciate any support that you can give. And before we get into a quick, both kind of recap for Mirm's benefit and also for the benefit of making sure that our viewers are able to know everyone who is here, I do want to give a quick disclaimer that as a content warning, we tend to talk a lot about issues related to environmental disaster, death, loss, the after effects of empire and war, and also one of the major mechanics of this game is called scatter, which is a form of mechanical dissociation. So if any of these are issues that you deal with where you're not certain if you want to engage with material that is bringing that up kind of consistently, feel free to step away from watching us. We understand you have to manage your own peace, and no actual play is ever worth sacrificing your mental well-being for. That being said, we're going to get things on the road. For myself, I am Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, they pronouns, and I am your conductor. I am essentially the person helping manage and facilitate the rules and the chaos. And I'm going to go clockwise on this by starting with Sebastian.
Right. Hello, I'm Sebastian. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Keldrinith, who is a beckoning infiltrator who also uses they, them pronouns.
Fantastic. And to in-game, our curmudgeonly, fantastic giant titan of the earth and sky player, but in person as a player, an absolute delight, Gena.
Oh, that's me. Sorry, I got so distracted. I thought we were talking about Mirm here. Hi, I'm Gena. I don't know why. I'm Gena. I am playing Adestia, who's a windswept cavalier who is, in fact, I got so stuck on the word tight, just so you know. That's what did it.
Titan? The
Yeah.
word Titan got you distracted?
That's what got me distracted.
You have basically a moose. It is a massive thing.
Oh, yeah, but where?
Speaking of the other person in this group who is currently losing their shit laughing like I am, Mirm, take it away.
Hi everybody, my name is Mirm. I use she, they pronouns, and today I'll be playing Wea, who uses they, them pronouns, who is a volcanic tracker, and we're in my element. I'm very excited. Also, just to clarify, Wea's only 5'7", so not a...
Listen,
no,
we have somebody who's 4'11" in our group. You are giant to her.
But your moose is giant to me.
Sure.
The moose is giant to most people.
Yeah.
It's a moose.
Yeah.
technically, I want to be very understanding. It is a cloud elk to specify, be very clear, but it's basically the size of a moose.
Basically.
How
Right,
does he
so
feel about being called a moose?
I don't call him a moose directly to his face. Would you call something that can actively rip you apart or gore you over like a term it does not want? I wouldn't do it.
Probably not.
Yep.
Well, we can find out.
So in chat, yes, skill issue. Bless you. So
Look, there's some things I would fight and some things I would not.
I don't fight a bear. I don't fight a kangaroo,
I don't fight a
and
moose.
I don't fight a moose. Those
Yeah.
are
I also
the
don't fight
only-
a sky elk. I don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't look anything that's got horns of any variety, whether they're pointy or blunt. You don't fight. Chat. I never said it was a good idea. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Only
But
the
so-
best of educational material here on Sword and Key.
Only.
Yeah.
Listen. If you've never looked at how buff a kangaroo is, you should go look so that you understand how bad an idea it is. It's a very bad idea. Don't do it.
My last words are just going to be skill issue as I perish in this fight.
I hope mine are parry this, you filthy casual, to a fist fight with a kangaroo.
Oh my god.
We're starting off on a great note. I'm going to collect my breath for a moment and then I'm going to give us a quick recap. Always a pleasure, everybody. Always a pleasure. But so, our group, throughout the course of the series, has been investigating these strange conglomerations of both what are known as horrors in the world of Amelta, which are essentially kind of emotional wounds that have been made manifest in a given area due to something historical or a great tragedy that's happened there. It could be anything like a great ship crash. It could be an instance of war or conflict. It could have been that someone's family member passed away or caused a great issue, and now their spirit lingers on, untethered to the realm of either the living or the dead. And so, because of that, they tend to be kind of wandering threats that have shown up in a lot of different places, like, for example, Keldrineth's home of Rimehold, where there was literally wars that happened. But also, the beings that they've been encountering also appear to become mixed with automata, which are ancient machines that were often built exclusively for the purposes of war or conflict, and which oftentimes were programmed with a singular protocol or directive. So the group has been facing what appear to be mechanical, animal-like versions of these mixed beings, and has been trying to investigate and get more information on what could be the cause of all this. Keldrineth, with having our fantastic Sebastian back fully, had the experience of literally being out of body from all the scatter that happened and making a unique connection with one of the strange, shadowy automata devices and experiencing the memories of someone who had the name of Sarah and interacted with another individual, but that the group had previously gained the name Celes, Celes. The group is attempting to still look into more regarding this after having dealt with an issue with a previous, I won't say friend or even companion, I will say associate, finding himself in an unfortunate pact with a noble demon, and now has made their way over to the Coral Coast, to more of the home area of Wea. The group is investigating what they have heard are calls of disturbances of light tremors that have been happening in the area that have been increasing in intensity, and made their way to have a rather enthusiastic conversation with the head of the Checkboard Lounge. I believe it was Checkboard Lounge, if I'm remembering that correctly. And having, I believe it was almost like a dance competition, which Keldrineth and Azura did quite well at, and which the group following that decided to head over to Hushwave City to take the path to head in the direction of the Coral Coast to try and get some more information from some notable scholars in the area to see if they could get a better understanding of what was happening. Across the three players who were here, 3 different NPCs were created by your GM on the spot to represent different professors of different disciplines related to the study of spirits and either emotional items items that are essentially engineered to hold an emotional charge, direct convening with spirits, or the ways in which harm, wounds, and emotional wounds can last in the body for longer than the initial impact of trauma. So in the midst of talking with all these NPCs and gaining a rather more extensive look at what might be happening perhaps to somebody who's involved with this and causing some of these issues to be occurring with the presence of the beings, the group experienced a higher level of seismic activity as they were able to notice upon exiting one of the main universities that they entered into, that a sort of what is called valley of volcanic islands southeast of Hushwave City, now at least one or two of them actually appear as though the tops of them, which as far as anyone has ever known have been long remained dormant, are now active. And that is where we left off. So folks, what you doing?
Well, the ground certainly is shaking.
It is.
I don't remember if we met up yet already.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. Like,
I
have we
don't
met
think
up at this point?
I don't think we did.
I don't think you had actually
Yeah, I don't think
gotten
we
back
did.
together. It was just we ended on the note of from your 3 separate conversations,
Okay.
all experiencing the tremors.
Mhm.
Okay.
I want to see what Professor Almos is doing.
Ah, yes, this would be the engineering one.
Yes,
You spoke with the engineering one.
I did.
She's currently just has a look of annoyance as a couple of things nearly fall over in what counts as the kind of workshop that is the Department of Psychotechnics. And basically just trying to she has the look of someone who you can see the notable increase in her temples beginning to become much more apparent, as though she is holding back quite a lot of frustration and anger with people nearly dropping stuff that they prevented from falling to the ground. She looks as though she's just very well, this is getting worse and I'm gonna have to deal with all this, so fine.
Do you want a hand with dealing with all of this? I happen to
If
have 2.
you're very clever, I appreciate you. You are truly a saint amongst your peers. You are
She's
well
being
compelled.
sincere.
Her voice tends to have a constant note of sarcasm, but you
Yeah.
sense this one is probably sincere.
Okay. Well, yeah, managed to get on the side of the person who hates everyone. Great.
Sometimes it just takes just being less annoying than everyone
Yeah.
else, which is great. But yeah, no, if you take some time to be around here, you just see there's a lot of very stressed students. It's the definition of newcomers, first years coming in
Yeah, I
and
think
then a bunch of grad students who look like they're already tired and the day has just started.
okay. I think I'm gonna try and help them secure their project somewhere safe so then they're not gonna, fall over on top of someone. Might be a good idea.
Yes, you definitely encounter a very haggard looking uh sort of light brown skinned individual, hair done up in a ponytail because practical, and because in a workshop with very dangerous things, who's 6 feet tall and has all of the mannerisms of the most like shy individual you have ever met, just trying to hold on to a stack, like a couple boxes full of materials that she is just like slowly like leaning back and forth because she appears to have no sense of balance whatsoever.
Okay. I'm gonna help her with that.
Thank you. I. Mm. She like noticeably deflates in stress with someone helping her out.
Well, that's good. I'm not gonna comment on it.
So, look, sometimes your early 20s are rough.
Yeah,
Early 20s are, you will be stressed.
yeah.
Sometimes even heckin' stressed, and it sucks. She definitely has that vibe. There's also another individual who is like comes over, helps her out, gets the last box, and the two of them seem like they're chatting and have friends. They both have a shared look of like just it's the look that in some occasions have happened in movies whenever someone's uttered a line that's like it's just 2 more days till retirement. They have that kind of energy about them having just entered the department.
Yeah.
So a university student essentially.
Yes. 2 days till graduation, except it isn't really.
Pretty much. But no, it seems like everyone there is a look of genuine worry that isn't necessarily attached to just keeping things structured and making sure Professor Olmos is not pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna help them with like immediate safety concerns, and then I'll look out the window.
Yeah, it is only so far the farthest island, let's say, because it's sort of almost like an archipelago. Archipelago. I never know how you pronounce that fucking word. Uh, of islands. So probably put it almost like a ring of like six. If you were to imagine the farthest one, the sixth one, that one has that one suddenly seems to have like smoke coming from the top of it.
Hmm. Okay.
And I should also make note that these some of these islands are inhabited. It's not just a random like island out there that no one lives on. There are people who live out there. But Teledrinith, you're in the midst of trying to help some students, and get a vibe of what's going on and seeing what's outside. Leia and Adestia, what are you two up to?
I think I already left the classroom of the person that I had talked to.
Mm,
So I think I am mostly concerned about my cloud elk. So I will be going back to where I have left him quickly as
yes,
possible.
yes, you would be able to come back, and he's definitely. It's very rare for you to ever see Ransor have a look that's not like the equivalent of someone going looking at the camera and going, "Well, it's a living." But he seems to have a look a little bit more of actual like, what's going on?
Oh no, he seems so confused. Okay. Gonna pat him. Okay, okay. I will climb up and I will try to I mean, I don't really I am also not a seismic activity girl, so I don't know. I also don't know what's going on.
Listen, we're just out here with a lack of seismic activity, girlies.
Like I don't like
Magnitude 0.5, 4.5 for the win.
Adestia does not know. Like she lives in a forest. She doesn't know what's going on here. So I think she's going to try to encourage Rensor to try and take off, at least he will be off the ground. Maybe he'll feel a little less nervous that
Are
way.
you going with him, or are
Yes, I'm on
you?
top of him.
Oh,
I
okay,
climbed
okay.
up.
I wasn't sure if you were just going up to him and being
Oh
like,
no.
"Here you go, buddy, just go fly for a little bit,
Go!
just do a round."
No, no. I'm gonna go with him.
Okay. I would say if you would like to make a roll from here to see if there's anything else of significance.
Yeah. I think I'm also just mostly keeping an eye out for my friends here. Uh, I guess I'll do an
I
understanding roll of some type.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will give you if you this will be a base difficulty of 2. for every success you get beyond that, you will get more information or be able to make out more details.
I'm gonna say this is a focus roll.
Okay.
That one's cocked, even though it was good. That is a 6. That's only one, so
Only one. It's too far away
yeah.
from where you're currently at. Just trying to get a look. Even this high up, it's just too far off in the distance and too out from the coast to really get a good sense. The most detail you can make out is just that for a split second you swear you see something near the top of one of the mountains, but you can't make out
Could have been a
any high level.
rock,
Yeah,
for all I
exactly.
know.
Like you have no idea.
All right, I'll just mostly keep an eye out for my friends then to loop back.
Alrighty. And Wei, I know we've kind of kept you a little bit out of the immediate scenes, but
Yeah.
what would Wei have been up to during this time with like everyone trying to look into talking to the professors or what have you? What would Wei have been up to during this time?
Where would not have been doing anything productive, but instead getting sidetracked and yanked by the aunties to be like, okay, you're in town. Okay, we go dance. You go work on it with us only. And then I'm in a dance hall, completely like done up and have all of like the traditional stuff on
So
because I'm the
so
eldest.
so an ADHD scholar in the worst environment, which is 6 different activities being encouraged all at once that you alternate between.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then as soon as like the shaking starts to happen, I'm going to raise my voice at my aunties, be like, I have to go. I'm leaving. I'm so sorry. All of you incredible. I gotta go.
So, Mirm, I need you to take 5 hits of harm because you raised your voice to your aunties. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like just the psychic damage of them giving you a look
We're
at back would give you at least 1 hit, but I'm not going to because it's just
Okay.
mean.
inventing a new
A
stat
new
stress.
Yeah.
It's specific. No, it's specifically anti-stress.
Auntie
It's
stress. That's my
anyone in your
auntie.
life. So she just looks what she just looks at you and she sort of has a look of like you spoke up at me. I
Yo,
respect that.
yo, I'm gonna go. See you later. And then I like
Yeah, you go.
I rip off. I don't rip it off. I take off like everything. I'm wearing like layers on layers on layers. I'm running out the door, just like taking the last little bit of my skirt off. And
If you look back, you definitely see the like the head tracker who you talked to previously, just sort of talking to some of the other women, and just sort of like, did you see that? Did you see what they did?
yeah.
You get
And
you can't
then
tell it whether it's approving or disapproving from
my
this
brain says
distance.
approving, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I don't have time. Um, and then I'd like to use my survival specialty, which is while I'm in tropical terrain, I immediately and without rolling become aware of
Oh,
any hidden natural dangers in a scene.
that is a really good ability.
That is so
So,
useful. It like makes
Le-
up for none of the rest of us
yeah.
being volcanic people. Like,
Leo,
Yeah, so like you said, like it's kind of in the distance. So then I climb up the building because I like it's a dance hall. It's like one story. Like I
yeah.
find some crates, jump up onto the roof, and kind of look out.
For anyone watching this, go give Leon McDonald some praise for that fucking ability, because they're like I'm coming at this game from a history of having seen Rangers in like Quest or in 5e where like there's some cool abilities, but they never make the specific stuff feel that interesting or that strong. That is a hell of an ability to give in a game that is about the like environmental damage. That is such a good ability. But I would say Wea, given that your affinity for this, you would know that as far as past months, maybe year or two of activity that's been tracked by a lot of the local volcanic trackers, as far as anyone knew, the all of the volcanic mountains over there in the distance, specifically in that area, none of them were even remotely close to showing any sort of seismic or volcanic activity. They were dormant, if not fully thought to be extinct at this point. Especially the farthest ones.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Here's what I can tell you with certainty: nothing natural is causing them
Yeah.
to be that way.
Okay.
Something is causing an active effect on the environment over there
Hmm.
to basically aggravate and agitate the environment.
Incredible. So then I would like to see if I can roll to see if I need to go there or if I need if I can stay where I am on the coast to stop whatever's happening.
Hmm. I would probably put this. It's not often that I try and limit which type of facet y'all use for this, but I feel like this is definitely going to be an understanding role.
Okay.
To me, that makes the most sense in this context, and I don't really think any of the other facets would be as
Yeah.
appropriate to try and
Hmm.
approach this problem.
Yeah.
So roll with that. Same deal as with Adestia. It is a difficulty of 2 that
Okay.
you're aiming for. For anything beyond that, we'll see what happens.
Okay. I'd like to use survival because this is my area.
I think that's a perfect use of survival.
And then I'd like to use my curiosity key.
That is a perfect use of curiosity.
Yay! Okay. 2, 2. Come on. Just 2. Just give me 2. Just okay. I have 2 and an edge success.
Would you like a
I'm sorry.
possibility?
I have 3 and an edge success.
You don't even need to do the fourth one.
Okay. I lost one of my dice.
So there is a lot of like you combing through a bunch of just materials you have on hand because you are a giant buff nerd who also happens to keep a lot of stuff related to your home terrain specifically on hand because
Yeah.
you have kind of trained from the beginning as a tracker to always kind of be prepared for all the stuff that the jungle and that the coastline can give you
Hmm.
and throw at you. What you feel certain of is that whatever this is, it is not something that can be handled from a distance. This is something you're going to have to get up close and personal. Like whatever is agitating the volcanoes,
Hmm.
it's much closer to the source. It's not something that's happening from far away that can be
Okay.
dealt with. But I will say because you got one over
Mm.
what you needed, I'm going to give you a little bit more information. Adestia, when you were looking out, you could not make out what it was that you saw near the top of one of the volcanoes. Wea, you are much more used to sorting out information and perceiving things when it comes to like what stands out, what doesn't stand out
Yeah.
in this particular environment. The thing that you notice, it's a split second, but you swear amidst the smoke you see something moving, even this far out. It is a
Ugh.
massive creature that you can't get the best, most perfect view of it because it's way far out, but you're pretty certain it looks like a land iguana of some kind. But it
Okay.
is. But the fact that you are seeing it from this distance means it is huge. Like there are fun fact for dear viewers, there are actually certain kinds of iguanas that live near active volcanoes in the Galapagos Islands that have adapted to living near them. You know that there are varieties similar to that in this world that tend to congregate and live comfortably near these volcanoes. But this thing is massive. The fact that you're seeing this, like we're talking like Pacific Rim kaiju sized.
Ah. Mm.
You don't know what it is. All you know is that you see something that has the shape of a land iguana.
Okay. Um, Okay. I jump from the roof. I go back inside to the aunties. And the first thing I do is I'm on the floor, like bowing, like apologizing for raising my voice. And then I bring my head back up and I'm just like, I need a boat. I need to get to the islands and I need to get to a boat and I need to get to my friends. Can someone, I make sure that all of you are safe. I make sure that everyone in the area is safe. But I need a boat.
I want you to make a roll for this
Okay.
to convince them.
Okay.
Because here's the thing: normally, by general courtesy, they would do this.
Great.
But you did show bad manners.
They
So
did show
this is the
very
thing.
bad manners. Okay. I'm obviously gonna roll daring for obvious
Daring
reasons.
is appropriate for
Yeah.
this instance.
Very appropriate. And then I don't think I can use any of my skills. Yeah, the only one I can try to convince you would be tactics.
I
You
feel
can
like you
say that.
can't use that with
Yeah.
daring.
Every BIPOC person in the chat, do we think navigating a family situation counts as tactics?
You're tactical? So tactical, so late.
I'm gonna say no,
Got it.
but I do appreciate that this is a kind of question that can only come up at this kind of table.
It could have been.
Yeah.
It could have
It's like
been.
50-50.
Yeah.
I don't think the particular approach is, but it could have been.
It's always worth asking.
Yeah.
It is worth to ask with me because I am very loose and very
Yes.
open to a lot of bullshit ideas, especially coming from Mirm.
Politics would have been.
Politics
I
I would have let you do.
I erased politics. So that is no longer a thing. Anyways, so if I don't use the skill, can I argue still for a keynote?
No, yeah,
Okay.
they're all separate things that they're all
Okay.
each individual steps. It's not you get a skill or a key, it's you do both. It's just not every occasion might have a motive within your key that feels
Yeah.
appropriate.
I think the only one that would be appropriate is control. Because I'm taking control of the situation. So
I don't
you
think
can
you
say it.
are. I think this
Yeah.
is the exact opposite. You are having to give up some control to your aunties right now after you just tried to pull it away.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, great.
Roll them dice, Merm. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens. Let's see what
How-
happens, Wea.
okay. Ah, oh my God. Ah, caught.
That was a lot of noises
It was, and it
happening.
was only one success.
So here's the deal. You only needed one success. They aren't that mad at you. There's definitely a lot. The head of the checkerboard lounge is definitely like eyeing you up a bit, sort of like, okay,
Eh, I'll make it up
we-
to you. If I make it out of this,
no. It's not about you. You're going to make it up to us. That is
yes,
never in question. You're going to do something for us later.
I can dance tonight if you need me to.
Go make sure we don't have to deal with an earthquake. Then we check in about it.
Okay. I'll see you.
But
I'll see one of you at the docks then. I have to go get my friends.
yes, you have it for your benefit, Merm. You do have it essentially that you have an NPC who will be waiting amongst one of the rangers from the lounge will be waiting at the docks and be able to start taking you over whenever you all are ready to make that trip.
Great.
So yeah,
Um,
moving back to Caladrinith. Right.
Yes.
So spend some time. You make sure everything in the place is as secure as it can be in this very volatile workshop.
Yep. I mean, I think my friends might be elsewhere on campus, but it's very difficult to tell. So,
You could literally just have a Destia just show up and be like, "What up?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm keeping an eye out.
yeah. I mean, against my better judgment, I'm gonna open the window that I was looking out of.
You definitely see a massive cloud elk circling
Oh,
around the
okay. Yeah, so
university.
I'll shout outside of it and just kind of stick an arm out, be like, "Hey!" Wave. Yeah.
You there's definitely a moment of Professor almost going like looking out the window, wondering what you're looking at, and then just sort of seeing the cloud elk and being like, "You're not gonna try and fit that thing in here, are you?"
No, no, no. I don't worry. It's not
Okay,
coming in here.
good.
I'm going out.
Because I want to continue to start liking you, and if you do this, I don't think I'm gonna like you very much
No, no, no,
anymore.
don't worry, don't worry. I'm not going to leave things worse than they were when I came in here.
You would be the first one to ever try and do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So can I just like leap out of the window and onto the milk? Am I allowed to do that? Like,
you can. I'm not gonna stop you from doing that.
yeah.
Solely
I'm
because
also
I
like
think it's
fully I'm
funny.
gonna try and do this in such a way that I look cool to all the like the 20 somethings that are just, I need to give them like a moment to be like,
Hope.
hey, there's hope after your 20s. You two could be a ranger one
Please
day.
roll
Like
for
I
this.
just
I want to know whether or not you
okay.
eat shit.
Okay, I want to use the key of bravado because I'm
Yeah,
gonna use
yeah,
this
no.
every session because this is just my
This
whole
is this.
thing.
Yes, correct. You may use bravado. I
Okay,
think
can
do
I
you
use
have performance?
I
I was
do have
about to say
performance. I do have
yes.
performance.
You have
So
performance. You can use performance.
yeah, and can I use daring?
Yes, this is a
Okay.
very daring thing to just
This is
randomly
going to be
jump
like an
out.
absolute ridiculous, like I think I'm rolling like 6 dice or something for all of these when everything's said and done. So yeah.
I
Okay. I'm really hoping I don't eat shit because that would be so
so
embarrassing.
do I. I really do too.
Okay. Okay, so that is what you 3 successes
Oh, okay,
plus
good.
a one. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks
It
spectacular.
looks fucking epic, and I'm just like, okay,
And
bye. It's real smooth.
there's
Like,
definitely at least one or two of them who has one of them has a look of like that's just so cool. And
yeah,
then one of
it's
them
so
has a look
cool.
of like, huh, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me. And they don't quite understand
I hope it
why.
does. You're welcome. Formative moment. Yeah,
For this has now become a core memory for them. I was in
good.
the engineering workshop when a
Yeah,
random rogue just decided to jump out the window of the workshop and land on
yeah.
an elk.
I want to be the rogue that like everyone tells their therapist about. So,
Is that a common thing in a lot of stories that there's just a rogue everyone tells about their therapist about?
quite possibly.
I,
I'm just
you know what?
imagining that it could be
Maybe in this
plausible.
world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
I was about to say, I'm just like, you know what? Leon, yeah, Leon has been very thoughtful with making this entire system. Let's just say therapy is canon in Amulta. And
Yeah,
apparently a lot of people talk about a random rogue. Ah, yes,
yeah.
thank you, my feather. There's a rogue everyone talks about to their therapist now.
Yeah, exactly. The
but
first of many stunts. Okay, yeah, so I'll look really cool doing this.
but yeah, no,
Hey,
the two of you are able to head out.
All right.
thanks.
I'm trying to come up with an excuse for why I'm not picking up. I don't see him.
You know, Zwaya or Azura.
I'm
I don't
I'm
see a zero, so.
I mean,
I'm yelling
Azura
from the
is
streets.
with you,
Oh,
quote unquote. It's just Azura is just in the background.
okay.
Sometimes we don't need to necessarily come up with a long, complicated way of why they're out of it.
Yeah.
I could have been, I
Sebastian's is
just
just cool
didn't
because
see
it fit for the
them.
story.
Could have been, I just didn't see them.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, like, I mean, she hates trees, so yeah.
She- oh no, Azura has the common gamer problem, doesn't look up.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean there's threats in the sky? Nothing ever comes from the sky. Stares at the cloud elk right next to you that's
Yeah.
Greatest
literally flying.
enemy, verticality.
Not wrong.
All right,
But
so wait.
yes,
I'm
you're
yelling from the streets because I have no idea where any of you are.
You're just randomly running around the streets just yelling.
Yeah. Because I'm like trying to like talk to everybody like, in like you know, the pigeon that we use and trying to like describe my
Uh,
friends, but the only thing that's like coming out is Parangi, which in Samoan is kind of like what we use is like the blanket term for like foreigner.
Mm.
And everyone's like pointing toward like the touristy area, and I'm like, I don't think they would be there. And then I just run.
yeah. It's such a shame I don't have any blur because like I have an ability that lets me send messages to people, but alas, I have none. Maybe I'll do something silly to get it later.
No, no, blur is works the same way as scatter. You just spend it and you have
Oh, I thought I
up
had to
to a
like
certain limit.
accumulate it. Oh, okay.
No. Blur works the same sort of way that scatter does, is that you use it and you have a max before you
Oh,
pass
okay. Well,
out.
in that case, I can just like message where it says direct line. You silently send a message to a person you know. It should be no more than a single sentence or a quick thought. They can send a similar message back to you. Let's do that. That will solve our problems.
Yes.
Incredible. I tell
It's
you to go to the docks.
Okay. Yep.
And then I
So
make
I'll
like
say Adestia Way is waiting for us at the docks.
Right. Navigate to the docks.
Yeah. But my message was just like, hey, where are you, basically? But mark that off.
I
Okay.
I I don't know why, but my immediate thought is Adestia is like making a hard left to head to the docks. I just hear the sound that they'd use in like cartoons for whenever like the old school like World War like one or two like planes are going
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
no,
I was also thinking
no,
that.
no.
but it's just Ransor making a distress noise. It's just like
He doesn't like it turn around so fast.
well, it brings up memories of the last time a hard left was made.
It's fine. Don't worry about it, buddy.
But no, you're able to make it to the docks, and let's
Is the boat big
see.
enough for all of us plus the elk?
The elk definitely puts it near the limit, but you are fine. It's just one of those things where it's like, let's try not to bring too much more stuff after this point.
Then he
Mhm.
can fly. I can just fly him there if necessary.
But to answer your question, you are fine as far as load and everything.
Great.
Okay, great.
But yeah, I will say that the individual in question. Yeah, let's go with that. Uh, they give the name Hana, Hana. She, they. She is
This is the same
microphone
Hana that
next.
I talked to, right?
No, this is a different. Actually, I'm
Okay.
going to choose a different name because I thought I hadn't picked that name yet. God damn it! I picked so many names and I keep picking the same. I wrote down so many names for this and I keep picking the same four. God damn it. Talia.
Okay.
Talia gives the name Talia. They, she.
Okay.
But is really only like an inch or two taller than Adestia. Like this is a very tiny individual, but definitely has the uh how do I put this without upsetting all of my short friends? Has the very enthusiastic Chihuahua puppy energy thing.
Why would I be upset with that?
Because sometimes my short friends get angry very quickly. I'm aware of short person rage. It's quite potent. I don't want it at me. I am a tall. I know my place. My place is just to reach the higher shelves and then not say anything. I know my purpose in this world, but
Yeah.
they they are just like running around making sure taking care of everything on the ship and making sure it's functioning and fine. There is not too many other people involved, but you obviously need like a small crew to handle a ship. But even with the elk, you are relatively fine.
Sweet.
But it is the group going to make their way towards the islands?
We should probably do that, shouldn't we? We're
Yeah.
heroes.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Except, okay, just so that everybody's aware, it's not a turtle like when we were at the port city. This one is like a giant iguana.
Oh, but
And
it
it's like,
doesn't.
oh,
Go ahead.
no,
Sorry, it's a giant. But it doesn't look like an automaton iguana, right?
I couldn't see that detailed. It was just kind of like the billowing smoke, and then the shadow went past, and then I was like, "Oh my, that is even larger than Seafang. That's we gotta
Ah,
go over there."
okay,
So yeah,
right.
um, we'll know more when we get there. I'm gonna guess probably it's gonna be an automaton when we get
Okay,
there.
we'll find out.
Yeah.
Should the group begin making their way over,
We do.
it w- it was, and actually I had said it was morning, but it was technically, with all the conversations you had, probably closer to like late afternoon, early evening, making your way over. The sea is relatively calm at first. Things There's a rocking of the ship back and forth. I see chat is reacting in real time to something. I do not know what, but I fear. No, it is not a Breath of the Wild reference, Mayor, I promise. This is literally just the GM being a nerd about looking up Galapagos Islands creatures. Well, there you go. I can't listen. As your GM, listen here, dear viewers. This is a public service announcement. I can only do so much to curate what you imagine in your brains. I try my best. I try my hardest. I even try and pick up names that are meaningful. But after a certain point, I have no control here. There is only the illusion of control as the GM. I have long accepted this fact. I hope that you will understand and continue to embrace the story, even though it is not Va Rudania from Breath of the Wild. I apologize if that is a disappointment now. But
Yeah.
as you are making your way across the waters, there is another sudden tremor that goes through all of them. The waves suddenly pick up, and it now feels like it is a shifting of the tides. Whatever is happening in the area, it is beginning to pick up.
Uh, where's our title navigator? This is a problem.
A problem.
Yeah.
The one time your ship captain is not here is the one
Yeah, I'm
time
just
you really need a ship
yeah,
captain.
I mean I'm not like a boat
Need a-
water person, you know? I'm a
Yeah.
city person.
Um, in case of emergencies, how many people can Rensur carry?
This is a good question.
Yeah. Because if we're talking move size, I feel like 4 people can
Yeah, I
go
would say
on.
your party, and that's about the limit for Ransor.
Let me see if there's any notes about this.
Yes, as chat has pointed out, Ransor won't be happy about it, but he can fit all
Mhm.
four of you. I
Yeah.
think that's fair because we're basically referring to the Cloud Hulk as just a moose
Yeah.
in terms of size because they're supposed to be like massive creatures.
I mean, moose are larger than cars. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
really big, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Fair
gonna
enough.
I'm gonna believe that he can't do this escape route thing while everybody's on him, but
What is the escape route ability?
it's one of my abilities where I can avoid being impacted by any crisis moves. What's this a I'm going to assume I can't do that if everybody decides to get on him, but
Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't really
I'm
have
not
that.
gonna know.
I think
Yeah.
I think
But it doesn't
narratively
say
the
otherwise.
interesting.
yeah.
No other
But
notes.
yeah, but so far we're okay. Basically, but yeah, I'm not a boat person, so like if someone else assumes like the role of captain or what have you, then I will be following instructions.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Mm.
say based off of what I recall of Azura's sheet, I'm gonna let someone roll to try and speak to the success of navigating the waters getting more turbulent. I'm going to give it, to be charitable, let's say about 4 dice. So if someone is willing to roll 4d6, you are looking for 3 successes.
Do you want to do it, Waya? Because I think that
Yeah, I was gonna say it's my area, so
I mean, it's your
will,
area. Yeah.
yeah, so I can do that.
Roll
Okay.
them dice.
We have
Oh.
some, because people donated, so we have some backup stuff we can use if we screw
This
this
is
up.
true.
I do have only 1 reroll left, personally. All my auto crits gone. So.
Oh no.
Ah!
For what it's worth, Rensor only really trusts me, not the rest of you. It
Oh, wait.
specifically notes
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's fine. I assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I don't trust the elk either, but we do what we gotta do.
That is explicitly mentioned. Either way, you're the only one they really trust.
So funny. I love that.
It is a toothless How to Train Your Dragon situation. I don't like anybody else, but I like this guy.
I like this guy. All right. I rolled
This guy.
2 6s and a 1.
Okay.
So yeah, we gotta do the
Yes.
bargain
If
situation.
you can do a bargain.
Okay.
Oh, what is a good bargain here? Okay, I think I have one. You will be able to successfully make it over there, but in order to safely do so, it is going to take a lot longer than you expected. Like, you would have maybe made it there like into the evening. This is going to put you at like early morning if you take this.
Do we have that kind of time?
I don't know if we have that
You
kind of
don't
time.
know.
I'm gonna say we
Okay.
don't, and
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to Adestia and be like, emergency. We need to hop on Ransur. Son.
So what happens to the
Like that.
boat? Are the aunties gonna be
The
upset if we
boat-
don't return the boat?
I'm gonna look at the auntie and be like, we're gonna fly, and you are gonna go back to shore. So you stay safe.
So I had to do all this work. All of us had to do all this work to bring you out here, and you could have just flown.
See, my elk does not like carrying this many people. It stresses him out.
No. I understand this. Most animals are not very. They're not very amenable
I-
to other sort of people interacting with them or asking too many demands. But it is not the question that I am asking. The question that I am asking is, you could have just flown.
I could have just me.
This is an
That
emergency.
I'm not going to lie. That does sound very selfish of you to just make it so that only you could fly.
I didn't have it. The elk is only so big. He's very big. He's not that big. This is emergency. Okay, we don't have time to
looking
argue
at the
about this.
moose.
He does not like carrying that many people.
I will also note for the record, there's not a lot of folk on the coast who are really used to dealing with cloud elk either. So
Trust me.
this person referring to them effectively as like a moose is not Talia referring to them as a moose is not by like trying to be mean. It's just I don't know what the hell this thing is.
Trust me. No, we could not have done that. Anyway, it's not ideal.
Okay, to make it up to you, you can go to my family's place. It's north of the city, and they will feed you and your whole family. Just tell them that I sent them.
That's a deal I would take.
And for the next dance competition that you or your family has, or if you're in a group or whatever, I can sub in as well.
I'm already climbing up on Ransor.
You're just like trying to justify it.
Yeah.
Dusty is fully like, I don't know why we're still having this conversation when we need to hurry up.
I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Like they don't even like fully give you a word, like any verbal response. They just sort of end up with like a
Okay, incredible. Just tell him Wea sent you, and you'll be fine. I'll take
Keep
care of
like
you.
just hasn't broken eye contact with you, just sort of keeps looking and goes,
I
"Hmm."
don't break eye contact, and I clumsily get on top of her.
Just like
Oh my goodness. Oh, gosh.
meanwhile Dusty is like, why the fuck are you still doing this? Why are we
Because I
entertaining
have
this
to.
person?
It's a part of the culture.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Okay. I also will get on very quickly.
I because it's Caladrinas, I'm just half imagining just fucking Lord of the Rings Legolas style.
Yes,
Just
it's exactly
swoop.
like that. Yeah.
That's
I'm
what
glad,
I
Yeah,
I'm
like put
glad
one
I
foot on and
went
then
to the
swing
correct
over.
thought.
Like, yeah.
I am so glad that we are in the same mindset right there.
Yeah.
You are able to take time, and it is not comfortable for Rensor. Rensor is not happy with this situation. But you are able to start flying and head over. With the amount of time it takes to get over there, I will say one major development I'm going to make all of you aware of is that of the 6 islands, the 5th one now also
fear.
seemingly has smoke coming from the top of it. And that one was confirmed to be, like said, to be extinct.
Oh.
So, what I'm going to give to all of you right now is one of my favorite mechanics from another system. You have a clock.
Okay.
You have a 10-segment clock. This is going to be called like collateral damage. If you cannot stall or get to whatever is causing this agitation in the environment before this clock fully goes up, the next volcano that is going to be activated is going to be on one of the islands where there are still people living. You won't necessarily be dealing, it won't be like everybody, it's not Pompeii, but there's going to be a lot, at bare minimum, a lot of homes are going to be lost, a lot of people will be in danger. So, you start flying over to, likely you would think the fourth island, since the 5th one's already been activated. The 4th one likely is going to be there. But you arrive. The island is heavy vegetation, heavy jungle environment. This is very much the like bread and butter of what a lot of the climate and terrain around here is like. You have to navigate through here and figure out how to make your way properly to the mountain. Each step you take will start adding a segment. If it goes poorly, it will add 2 segments. You arrive on the coast of the 4th island. What are you doing now?
I'd like to use my survival specialty again to see if there's any natural dangers that
There are a lot.
incredible. What are all of them?
The most immediate ones are, if you are not careful while trying to traverse it, there are various kinds of poison ivy and a lot of other bugs and things in the jungle environment that will cause sickness. There are
Okay.
a variety of misleading sort of flora that would sustain you for food into the like early hours of the morning, that if you are not careful about which one you pick, one variety is perfectly fine and edible and to be used for cooking and such, or can be harmful, but if you cook it and prepare it in the correct way for a few hours, it'll be fine. Another variety of it is toxic, like horrendously toxic. Like you will be out of commission for an entire evening, bare minimum. Those are the immediate ones. The ones that you, as you get closer to the actual like mountainside, steam vents, potential like tunnels that are being that could crash into one another, or just being shifted around on the ground. basically a lot of the things, Wea, that you experienced trying to find Seafing the first time are
Yeah.
here, except this is now more recent, likely, and is going to be even more dangerous.
Okay.
Anila, I have another question.
Correct. Fire
What
away.
what are the terrain notes?
I was
Terrain
gonna ask
notes.
that.
Let us pull
Because
those up.
my skills are useless, but my magic might not be.
Mhm.
Yes. So I will say Wea has probably not gone over here, so I don't think Wea necessarily knows this terrain fully.
Yeah.
It's still your terrain, so
Mhm.
I will say you all have, as always, your personal ones. I will say right now you only have knowledge of one terrain note of the three that
Okay.
you would normally have access to, and that is solely because you have a volcanic tracker. If you did not, you would have nothing.
Mhm.
So if you want to understand what the other terrain notes are, you would have to investigate.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but that investigation will take up one of the segments. That will count as one of the segments for your time.
Okay.
So, the one that you do have right now, I'm going to go with Vibrant.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
It's a good one. There's some really fun ones in
Yeah.
Tropical.
So I mean, I'm looking at this place and I'm just like, oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it's very flammable, but it's beautiful.
It's not a statement that causes alarm at all.
Yeah. You said, many trees. It looks so nice, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, yeah, we
it's
gotta save this.
Later. We'll come back.
but
Fun
yeah, no.
vacation.
Yeah.
But no. Folks, clock has started. What are you doing
Um,
first? You
uh,
that one is just free. That one does not doing all that. That does not cost you a segment. That
yeah.
is just your ability. You just know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said 10 segments?
10
Yeah.
segments.
Okay. Um, okay. So first thing, are we in crisis?
You are not in crisis
Okay.
yet.
Okay, great. So then I will skip over that question. Um, I would like to use to blur to use interfere, which reads, you call on the land to close off a path. There may be a rock slide or plants may overgrow, covering the ground. On the coral coast, your friend the coral spirit may intervene. So I'd like to use
Ooh.
that to
Ooh.
like block off a like suspiciously like you could go this way sort of path and go a completely different direction and go in the correct direction. I don't know if that's like one move or if that's like
I would
half,
I
I
I
guess.
would say I would say doing this will cost you one segment of your time, but this will immediately remove a potential source of trouble for you navigating
Yeah.
the jungle terrain. And I will say, yeah, the coral spirit was able to help you. Damn. I would say it is a little alarming for a moment, as probably both Keladrineth and Adestia, you watch as from within some of the vines and soil around some of the trees, you see this entity slowly emerge with a mixture of fire and water. And as you just noted, Keladrineth, it's like flammable, 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 very flammable. But the being just sort of comes up, and it's kind of hunched over, but mostly humanoid in form. There is no face. It is just a royal of fire and water. And it just sort of looks in the direction of Wea, and it just sort of gives like a nod of approval. And it begins to head towards one section of the forest, of the jungle, and just begins like putting its hands together and like parting segments of the jungle to ensure that that whole area is entirely clear of anything. And another section, it just completely just burns like a clear path through it. And you watch as some of the plants that were getting burned, you hear a distinct noise, almost like they are letting out spores or other dangerous like bits of gas. Had you gone that pathway, you would have been extremely sick. So that is one segment filled.
Useful.
All right. What are you doing next?
It can't be me again, right?
It could be,
It
but
could
for
be.
for the sake of the group doing
Yeah.
stuff, everyone being involved in the group, I
Yeah.
would like to know what the rest of the group would want to try and do.
Really good question.
Yeah, do you want to go or shall I go?
I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
Okay. I could try to perchance cast a spell. Because I have the spell note of watching, so if I watch Vibrant, then perchance I can look out for like opportunities. Like I don't really know this terrain very well, but if I
Yeah.
just pay real close attention, then maybe my Daleth is gonna be like, "Huh, sounds like you really need a hand over here," and that's
No. I
what
like
I'm
that. I
thinking.
like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
What I'd like to get in on that. What is that called again?
That would be making a chord.
Accord.
A
Yes.
chord.
Yes.
And the spell note that I'd like to bring in is toxin to
Ooh. Yeah, we could avoid
illuminate
it. Yeah.
like the toxins to avoid them.
Watching toxin. Yeah.
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 Good idea.
Okay.
Also, because there's smoke in the air too, so like that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So
So
that happens. How
here,
much scatter is that?
I'm going to put that down. That is a stepping stone to solving the problem. So that will be a total of 3 scatter that you can split between yourselves,
Okay.
however much each of you wants to take on.
I'm happy to take all of it, but like, you know.
It's up to
Okay.
you.
Then I can take one and then you can take two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Yeah.
So I have a thought for what this looks like, but feel free to describe what the magic actually looks like trying to clear some of this area, keep you aware of things.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Wait. Yeah, sorry. So you wanted me to like
What does the magic
describe
look like?
what this
Like, what
happened.
is it? What happens when you invoke the magic? What does it look like?
I think because I'm a beckoning infiltrator, it's like it's kind of like I want to say that my vision kind of goes to black and white, but then the toxic stuff kind of lights up in red, so that
Ooh.
I know. Yeah,
You
because I'm
gain,
like shadow magic, so yeah.
yeah, you gain a predator vision for a moment.
Hmm.
It's just,
Yeah.
and there are making your actual figuring out what the best path to get over to the mountains themselves. To probably you're gonna have to go deeper within them to figure out the source of this problem. That will take some time, but you still need to figure out like which things to avoid, what the proper path is. You looking through this, you again, it's clear looking through it with the two of you focusing your magic. There's a couple of different paths that you could have taken here that had you gone down them, it would have been fine for the first hour and then not good for the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth hour. There are a lot of very bad directions you've gone, not necessarily for just danger, but stuff where it's the kind of thing of like there's no landmarks or anything significant that stands out here for like this is the middle of the this is the middle of the jungle, this is the edge of the jungle outside of just seeing the coast. You're able to clear off, you're able to mark down and note which spots will not lead you anywhere productive or will actually get you lost. That is your second segment. What are you
Cool.
doing next?
Can I also try to cast us? It feels like we're just doing variations on the same thing here because we don't have a lot to work with. I would like to cast a spell using well, the terrain note Vibrant, but also I have a personal note Journey. So I'd like to try to cast a spell to try and mark our path forward, hopefully.
Okay. I will say that is to scatter in order to do that.
Yeah, sure. Where's my pencil?
Hmm. Do you hang on? I could maybe help you with that because one of my spell notes is end.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
We could do
Ooh,
Journey
that
End,
would
and that's
way be-
really
yes.
useful.
that if you do that, that will increase the scatter cost, but it will be a solution to a small problem. So it will put it up to potentially 5 scatter,
Okay.
but you would have a direct line towards the mountain. Like there is no more like questioning whether or not this would be the correct path. This if Keledrinith and Adesti, if you combine your magic to do that, that will get you the clearest path with the shortest amount of time you can to get there. But it's
Yeah.
5 scatter.
Awesome.
That's
I can-
okay.
I can
I'm
take-
happy to take. I was gonna say I'm happy to take 3 because then like because it went up by 3, but I was like, hey, I can do that. So
Yeah, I could also take 3. And you could just take 2 since you already just took some.
okay, yeah, let's do that. Cool. Let's
Okay.
play some chords.
I could even take 4 if you want.
Now I'll
Start
take 2.
down.
Like,
You can't rob Sebastian of their fun.
yeah.
I
My goal is
mean,
always just I want to accumulate like stress. Like it's fun for me.
I mean, I'm like I assume you're gonna manage to get a whole lot when we get there.
Yes.
So it is though the all of the flora, all of the foliage, everything for you, Adestia, it's almost as though everything suddenly shifts in hues. Like suddenly there is a pathway there where you see it in the colors that you're most familiar with from your home terrain. It's suddenly like for you, various kinds of plants and such have just changed color entirely, and have a what looks like a kind of messy but somewhat direct path over. But the moment the Kelodrenith adds their magic to the mix, it's almost like you have the equivalent of someone made a paved pathway direct, like clear through, no danger, no concerns about it. You have a clear path worked out. That is putting you on your 3rd segment, and I rolled for this to see whether or not another tremor would kick in right now. It does. That automatically increases the segment 1 more, so you are at 4 of 10 segments.
We're making progress.
Yep. You are making progress, and with that being the case, if you start heading over there now, you will be able to make it at least to the base of the mountain and start making your way down into its depths.
Wait, so we're like going inside the volcano.
You are gonna have to go like into the
Yeah.
tunnels, like beneath it.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's gonna be.
It's not
fun time.
active. This one isn't active yet.
It's a fun time. I'll be fine.
Ugh. Children, is just like kind of looking at all the like the like they're wearing like a kind of tight all black outfit like with lots of layers for drama, and they're just like, ugh, this is a bad idea. But I'm not taking the cape off because it looked cool. Like
Hilda, I don't want to know how much you're sweating under there, and I feel so bad. They must
No
be just
capes.
soaked in sweat. Oh man.
Even Ransor is just looking at you, raising an eyebrows, and Elk just going, hmm?
Yeah.
Like, okay, buddy.
Anyway, sorry,
Huh?
what are you gonna do?
Oh, I was gonna start navigating us if that's all right.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
All right.
With
With adaptability, because
yep,
we're in the middle of a tremor
It's
and
real quick.
everything is a la changing.
shaking. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. And
Well,
then
I will
obviously,
say this is 3 difficulty as a note.
okay, yeah. I'd like to use my skill of navigation.
Mhm.
And then my skill, and then my key of knowledge because I know the
There
area.
you go.
Woo! All
It's
right,
appropriate. Yeah.
6. So I just need half of these, right? You said 3.
Yes, you need half of those to give you a success.
Jeez. Okay. Oh, holy shit!
Okay.
Okay.
That good?
I had yeah. I had 2 6s, 2 5s, and a 1.
That's
Four.
4.
Fuck yeah! Let's go!
Okay. With that being the case, that will put you right at the base of the mountain, just starting to make you see right near the base as you navigate and make your way through Wea that there is an opening heading down. It looks like maybe at some point it was used for mining or something else, but it is a tight fit in here. But this, I will say, solely because it would be rude to do this to our one player who has an elk. The ceiling is high enough for Ransor to get through. It is not comfortable. I do want to
I'm
make that
sure-
clear.
I'm
It
sure
is
he's
not
so
comfortable.
upset.
He is not happy right now. He is as unhappy as this is his least favorite day with you so far.
Unfortunately, he also signed up for this. So
He technically did. So that is going to put you at 5 of 10 segments. I rolled again to see if a tremor would happen. You are fine. Tremor has not kicked in as of yet.
But then we are like right outside of a possible tunnel?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to obviously tell Adestia and Caladroneth that that's where we need to go.
Okay. Going into this tunnel, does the terrain note change or do we learn anything new about it?
This, again, as Mirm pointed out, or rather as Wea pointed out, the whole area it's kind of having a tumultuous effect on the environment itself. So it would still come down to you'd have to make a roll to analyze and get access to the rest of the notes.
Okay. Because honestly, I'm not really. Yeah, this is not my favorite terrain, but I think that maybe it might be productive to do that. Yeah,
It's
I think
it's a
so.
big it's a big deal because I'm putting
I mean,
it
it
would give you
expands a
2
lot
more
what we
notes.
do. Yeah,
Exactly.
so
It
I
gives
think
you
I'm
2
gonna
more
try and
notes.
figure that out. Yeah.
Okay. So I will put this at difficulty. Let's make this one 2. If you can
Okay.
get the 2, then it will get you both of the notes.
Okay. I mean, this is probably going. This is going to have to be understanding.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, understanding, and I really don't think the rest of mine is going to be that good. So I'm only going to be rolling 2 dice, so these have to like come up good. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
I'm not good
no.
at this.
you have a bunch of
Okay.
rerolls. And
Yeah.
some
Oh my God,
successes.
you will not believe this. I got 2 6s.
Yes!
Thank
Believe.
you. Yeah.
They're starting to
Manifesting.
believe.
Yeah.
So this is I will say for Keldrin, this is not a territory you like being in. This is not a terrain.
Yeah.
This is not your vibe. It is sweltering. It is hot. You feel sticky. It is not comfortable at all. However, you are able to get access to these 2 notes. Encroaching and surface.
Ooh, okay. That's exciting.
Yes. Taking this time, but in the midst of trying to feel your own magic, try and connect and understand this place, you also feel like the ground around you is shaking. That is going to move you to 6 of 10 segments, folks.
Okay. Well,
You're getting
gives us a few more options.
Yep. But you are making your way through this tunnel and you reach, as Wea did long ago, you reach a 4-way intersection. What are you doing?
Is
What are we
this
doing?
is this the same scene?
Yes, it is still the same scene.
It's a 4-way intersection. Obviously, I mean, is it 4-way including the way we came from?
Yes.
Okay. So we have
'Cause
It's
three
otherwise
not.
we're,
options.
like,
It's not you got
descending
here and
from
then
the-
there's four
Yeah.
more. There's a fan of directions you go. No, there are
I
three
live on an
possible ways you
intersection.
can go.
I live on a 6-way intersection, so I gotta ask.
You. Who
There's
hurt
so
you?
many.
Who decided?
Don't worry about it.
It's like, don't worry about it. They'll be punished soon enough. What you
All
doing,
right, so we got
folks?
3 options.
You have 3 options.
Is there a way to determine like which is the most I like it? Is there like an obvious one?
You look around. You can.
I
I will
gotta
say,
ask.
just take. No. It's worth asking. One of them, you definitely, if you pause, because as a note, the longer you take here trying to decide, the higher chance that I have
Yeah.
to roll again for a
Yeah.
tremor. But if you take a moment to pause and you wait, you definitely hear down one of the paths like a. Like
That sounds bad.
something. Yeah.
Oh, maybe we should go towards that and deal
think
with
we-
that.
I think we go towards.
I think actually that's
Yeah,
a good
like-
idea.
I think that's
Yeah.
where we go.
Yes. That's helpful. That narrows it down a lot.
Yeah, let's
Great.
go. We'll
Thank
go
you.
toward the bad sounds. Yeah, it's like before we do anything fancy, is there an obvious one?
Start heading down that pathway.
Yeah.
Go toward bad sound.
It feels like the sort of incline of the tunnel starts just dipping just a little bit, and so you find yourself going deeper and deeper until you reach a massive cavern. There are whole bits of geodes and other accumulated pieces of crystal in this place. There are stalactites, because those are the ones in the ceiling. I always have to remind myself which one is which. Hanging above that look as though they have hues of red and orange. And it's right around now that another tremor kicks in.
Damn.
You're at 7 of 10 segments. And as that tremor is going across this cave, you hear and a massive piece of the ceiling just drops down and blocks your pathway heading back.
We're in it now.
Naturally.
Great.
The boss door just came up and blocked your access going back way,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Naturally.
but you're pretty certain with being this close to what you assume is the origin point of the tremor, you hear a bit of ways deeper into a Mare has the right of it. It's like, oh shit, why is the game asking me if I would like to save? This is a bad time, man. And why is it asking me twice if I want to save? This is even worse. But with being this close to the tremor, you can sense, you can hear something in a distance past this cave, somewhere deeper, probably close to where you assume might be the core of the mountain itself, is likely the whatever is causing all of this.
Well,
You
like,
start-
go ahead.
Do you start heading forward?
Yeah, I see no reason why not to. In fact,
Yeah.
we should go. We should go quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for this to see if anything happens along the way.
I mean, poor run sword,
You-
but you know,
You lucky
It's got a higher ceiling
bastards.
now.
There is no tremor, and I was hoping that there would be a tremor, because if there was another tremor, all of you would have to roll to dodge something falling on top of you.
there's always next time.
Yeah, there's still
There's
chances
always
for that.
next
Don't
time.
worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But you start making your way forward, and there is At some points, as it happened with you, Wea, you have to watch your step as some of you move a little too fast and your feet sink in and the ground gives way. Not entirely, not enough to make you fall. But as you look down, you see that there are, where in the pit that your feet fell down in, some distance below you, there are tracks of lava beginning to pool up.
Are we not still flying?
Unless have you been flying this entire time while going through this?
I mean, I thought so.
I
I
thought
only,
Unless we weren't.
I would imagine. I really haven't been thinking about it.
no, that's my mistake. That's perfectly fine to say my mistake. It would
No,
just
I
come
just thought we
down
were
to,
flying. It's okay if we're not, though.
but as you move into this final room and you start hearing the impacts of something else that you now understand to be the sound of a creature letting out shrieks and yells, that is where we're going to take our break, folks. So, thank you everyone who's been watching so far. We will see you all in about 10 minutes when we get back as the group deals with whatever the source of this environmental trouble is.
Probably okay.
So,
It's fine.
see y'all in about 10 minutes, folks.
Bye.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are here for the 6th session of our Fragments of Loss Rangers of a Broken World campaign happening here on Sword and Key. It is good to have our fantastic viewers here with us as we are jumping right back into the action as our group has been trying to make quick actions as best they can to deal with the growing threat of erupting volcanoes. Oh, hello there, Amaya. It's good to have you in the chat. Hi, friend. But our group has managed, cutting it very close in the time, I must say, you got to about 8 to 10 segments, to arrive in a deep chamber near the very heart of the 4th island, forming one of the 6 island that form the archipelago out past the Coral Coast, southeast of the Coral Coast. What you see in front of you is a rather impressive sight, as there is a massive creature. What was already quite impressive from from a distance, from when Wea and Adesti had seen it earlier, is even more impressive and admittedly terrifying to see a massive. It is a land iguana whose whole body and the little almost like spiny frills going along its back are composed of almost like shadowy crystals in place of the shroud that the previous entities that you have encountered had all across their body. This one just seems to have like whole solidified segments of shadowy ethereal energy just going across its back, while the rest of its body looks not unlike what Seafing looked like when Wea first encountered it. And you see that the creature is now beginning to try to start what you discover is agitating the land by not only where its feet are seemingly are having that same sort of noxious, toxic, ethereal drawing effect that are causing whole elements of the cave around you to start shaking and trembling, but the whole core of its body, when you see where its face is, its mouth seemingly is dripping a red substance that as it lands on the ground, you just hear a as this entity seemingly is just lashing out on the ground around it, and it's much more harder to pick out, but you do see across aspects of its form There are little segments around where the joints in its body connect, whether in its claws or its legs, that are mechanical, that are metallic. Whatever this entity is, it is causing great distress to the land around it. As of yet, it has not seen you. What are you doing before it becomes aware of you?
Does it seem like it's just kind of living its life, or does it seem like it's angry?
Oh, it's very angry. It is a very angry boy.
Okay, but like it's all right. Does it look like it's supposed to be somewhere that is not right here?
As far as you understand,
I don't know.
this is not something that is supposed to be here.
Okay. I just don't really know where it lives.
Um, I am going to take some time to take stock of our surroundings because I'm also I'm going to take any leads from Wea and while waiting for any cues from Wea, I'm just gonna see get a better sense of our surroundings, basically.
I would like you to roll for that.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to give you, folks. The moment that you engage this creature in any sort of hostile fashion, things will switch over to crisis mode. However, whatever actions you take now, I will treat as preemptively counting as adding to your tactics pool.
Oh.
Because you got here before anything, before a major catastrophe started to set in place, and it has not noticed you yet. It is primarily just thrashing around, and it looks angry, and it's very hard to make out. It sounds like it's trying to say something, but you have no idea what it's saying. You would have to take time to focus.
I'm gonna make an understanding tactics roll
Okay.
to understand our surroundings, and my key does not help because I don't think this is self-improvement. This is just me looking around. Oh, that's so bad. It's literally all fours.
No.
I'm in a cave. I don't know what caves are.
So Destia, a cave, it's like
This isn't a tree.
forest. It's like a forest, but instead of trees, there's rock walls.
That doesn't
Yeah?
make any sense.
Therefore,
Okay.
not like a forest whatsoever.
Yeah.
I tried.
What?
What?
I tried. I tried to understand. It's not
It's
working.
not
It's
registering.
So-
almost. I'm missing
Yeah.
there's a missing stair here somewhere.
So if I'm looking at this thing, can I tell if it looks like an organic creature or an automata, or what do you call it?
It's trying. It looks much closer to being an organic creature than the other ones you've seen. But one, it is far too fucking big to be anything that's native or indigenous to this place. Number one.
Okay.
And number two, again, those that segments on the joints and especially like around its claws and where its jaw connects to its mouth, like or where its jaw connects to more of its body, it's just it's the joint parts you're seeing faint bits of like metallic structures like actually keeping it in place.
Oh, interesting.
So
Does it?
it is an automaton, but
Oh,
this one's a little bit better at masking its
huh.
what it
Okay.
is.
My last question is, does it appear to be in pain or injured?
It just seems extremely agitated and angry.
I mean, on one hand, mood, like I get it, like it's valid. I also am not enjoying this volcanic environment, but on the other hand, come on. Okay.
Wea,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm
That's a
thinking.
good start. Just a Chaos giggle.
I'm just thinking. So I would like to, because this is my, my home. This is my home terrain. This is my shit. I can imagine that I come from a line of trackers, like if I have family members that are, and things
Uh-huh.
like that.
All
I
right,
would like.
what are you arguing for?
I'm arguing for a understanding. Okay, it's not even one of my top ones. Okay. Uh understanding spirit's role to call on the ancestors to be like, eh?
What is your goal with calling on the ancestors? What are you trying to accomplish? I'm here for the calling on the ancestors part.
Yeah.
I just need to understand what are you trying to do with doing
I'm
that.
I'm trying to like further understand its purpose here as well as keeping me grounded because of my um blur consequence.
Kind of curious what your blur consequence is.
It's
I
it's
guess I gotta
just
take
rooted, and so like I become
it's a
absorbed in
gauge.
scenes if I use too much blur, and then I don't want to leave. So I'm calling upon the
Ah,
spirits to be like, tell me this is not actually from around here,
you want
and
confirmation that you're not just freaking the fuck out and jumping to conclusions.
yeah.
I'll let you roll for it.
Yes, let's go. And then obviously my keynote to go with it would be knowledge.
There you go.
Yeah. You won't believe it, but I
Wow.
rolled 2 5s and 3 1s.
Oh,
Wow.
wild.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Spicy result.
there's not a success in sight. There's just some edge successes and full
So,
successes.
so here's the deal. If you take this bargain, the group will start off with 5 already in the advantage pool.
Before we roll tactics.
Before
Tactics.
you roll tactics, before
Okay.
you even do
Ooh.
that, you will start
Okay.
with 5 instead of 2.
Okay.
Here's the deal. This thing is going to be made aware of you, and you will be the target immediately.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay? There are no other rolls after this point.
That's fine. I just asked a bunch of questions. I didn't actually have anything to do.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's still worthwhile to ask.
Yeah.
You lose out by not asking. So here is what you have the sense. It's not necessarily your ancestors who reply. It's more like you hear a voice that you've heard once before in the form of a crocodile crystalline entity, sort of saying, think this thing means to restart all the volcanoes. I don't know if I agree with this. I mean, chaos is fun, it's all good. But I don't want rampant destruction this kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do I have time for one question?
Yes.
Awesome. Why would it re like, ignite all the volcanoes? What is it? What would be the purpose of that? Not necessarily knowing its motive, but what could you come to conclusions?
I think it's looking for somebody.
Oh, okay. Sarah?
And it's right around now that like I think you actually are able to parse amidst all of the roars and all of the thrashing and wailing that the creature is doing. It is not saying the name Sarah. It is saying the name Celis.
Tell us. Okay.
It seems extremely upset and it doesn't know what to do in its situation or
Yeah.
in its current environment. And right now, it is just trying to find her.
Yeah.
It doesn't even necessarily seem to understand why. It just feels a compulsion to do that. That is what you get from your roll and taking all of the successes, taking all those edge successes. You have an understanding that this thing, whatever it is, it doesn't even seem to be like it's trying to do this on purpose. It's just going wherever it can and just trying to figure out where she is. But as that happens, as you're gaining this understanding from talking to Sifeng in your connection to your history and your family, the creature just sort of turns its head, and you see that there is a mass of fire just building up in its mouth. And that is where we are going to switch over into crisis mode. So everyone in the party, I need you to roll tactics using any facet, and then add your total successes to the advantage pool. As a reminder, you already have 5 because Mirm decided to go with taking the risk.
And because my crisis specialty is strategist, when I roll tactics to form the advantage pool or contribute to it, you contribute an additional success. So
Awesome.
yeah,
So
would
everyone
love to see it.
roll that.
Just
Doing
roll
s-
taxes.
I'm doing
What?
so great, everybody. I rolled 1 5.
Okay, well, honestly, I also am doing so great in the sense that I rolled nothing that was helpful, so I got 2
I
1s
did.
and 2 3s. However, my little crisis specialty still means that I'm good at strategy,
It's
allegedly.
still worthwhile.
Yeah.
So wait, we're rolling
Tactics.
tactics, and that's it.
Tactics using any facet.
Oh, okay.
The facet is always how you think your character would engage in the scenario.
So I rolled adaptability because I'm trying to adapt to my new cave environment. It's not going well. In case anybody wants to know what the narrative there is.
There's a reason Adestia is stubborn and firm as a rock. It's because anytime she tries to change, it doesn't go well.
I'm over-identifying with these rocks right now. That's what's happening.
Trying to
Edge
turn the rocks
successes-
into trees. Sorry.
You're fine. I put that in your head. You're good. Edge successes don't add anything, right?
Nope.
Okay.
This is full success, buddy.
All right.
See, I didn't even roll those. It was like 1 5 and a bunch of 2s.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled 2 1s.
You rolled 1 5,
Yeah,
so
no.
you got 1.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
just
got
one.
1. Sebastian got 1, and then Mirm.
I got 1.
You got 1. Okay, so that's 3
Doing
added
so
to
well.
the 5 from earlier. So you have a total in your
I mean,
pool
that's
of
not
8.
bad.
Well,
That's
we
not
have,
bad.
don't we have
Good.
9 because of, or is that included?
No, that is the one that I got because
That
I didn't
is the
roll
one
any.
that is the
one I
one that
got.
Killadrin got.
Heard,
It is
Chef.
the one. It wasn't even a quote unquote proper success. It was
No,
just
it was
I
just
am
a-
skilled.
It was just a crisis specialty. It's fine. I'm competent. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a matter of being competent. So that is the first bit. Second bit we're going to get into is, folks, here are the difficulties for each of these. To destroy this creature will take 8 successes to advance the goal. To redirect it, to find a way to get its attention somewhere else, it will take 6 successes. And to outlast, to just try and survive and get out of here before this volcano awakens, will take 7. So as a reminder, because I want to clarify this because there was a bit of confusion about it before, these are just speaking to how many successes you need to get total with your rolls and burning from your advantage pool in order to advance the goal once. You need to advance the goal a total of 5 times for any of these to end the crisis.
Mhm.
So the difficulty of these is just in order how hard it is to get that one advancement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So with that being the case, players are up first. What are you doing, folks?
Okay.
Who's going first and what are you doing?
Oh,
I
Bea,
would
you
like
can go first.
Yeah, I would like to go first because also my crisis specialty is coordinated, and if we keep doing the same action, whether that's adding to the ally pool or what's the other one?
Advancing a goal.
Advancing a goal. If it stacks, you add dice.
Ooh, okay.
according, and it stacks forever. So
Nice.
Stacks forever as long as you keep doing the same thing. You just have to
yes,
keep building off of one
Yeah, so
another.
we have to like agree on what we want to do then.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I
Okay.
was thinking like maybe we can talk about like what we want to do per turn until we get to the point where we're like, we're just gonna advance the goal until we get there,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So, I'd like to go first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would like to advance a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you aiming for?
Um,
Destroy 8, redirect 6, outlast 7.
I'm not doing Outlast because that will hurt my people. So, fuck. Oh, I'd like to first use one scatter to um tell me what and where environmental hazards are.
This entire place, you are resting on the core layer of what will erupt out of the mountain. This is the segment where once this thing agitates the ground enough, the lava is going to erupt out of it. So if the all of the ground here gives way, you are going straight into boiling, burning heat and will just like burn alive.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
all die.
Yes.
And then you will die.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I'm not thinking right now. So I would like to redirect
Okay.
with the intention or with the spell notes toxin and surface
Oh.
to make it physically move from the place that it has been like softening up. The only phrase coming to mind, but like the
Mm-hmm.
one
Not
place that
wrong.
it's like, yeah, right? Like I wanted to move away from that place that it's just made incredibly weak.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you want to try and get it to move away. In that case, I would put that. That is a stepping stone to solving the problem. So if you want, so this will be in the range of 2 to 3 scatter. If you take
Mhm.
more scatter, it will take less from your advantage pool to get it up to that 6 you need to advance it.
Yeah.
Are you willing to take 3 scatter for this?
I'm willing to take, hold on, I have to mark it
Because it's
for the,
2 or 3.
yeah. And then I would have to use 3 from the advantage pool to succeed.
You would have to use 4 if you only take 2 scatter.
But if I use
Because
3,
the scatter is standing in for the successes that you would
yeah.
normally do in a skill roll.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I would like to use 3 scatter so that I'm only using 3 from our advantage pool.
Okay. It is almost like there is a noxious fume that erupts out from the ground beneath this thing, and it becomes agitated. And while you get the sense that a large part of this it has a mechanical component, there are still elements that are organic, and as such, it reacts to the toxin and begins shifting its way from the ground that has become unsteady. So that is you've advanced the goal once.
Sweet.
So that is one go. Who is taking the next turn?
And now if you roll
Yes.
that, you get to add 1 dice additionally
Yeah,
on
I
top
have
of
an
what you're
idea.
already.
Yeah, so I think redirect is good because that works for the thing that I was thinking of. Just to confirm, is Celis the automata, like the turtle automata that we fought previously?
No.
No.
Celis
Okay.
Celis is the druidic practitioner healing practitioner you saw in the vision.
Okay. Okay.
Sarah was
I
was the name given to the automaton that
that
whose
I
perspective you
inhabited.
were
Yeah,
taking
okay.
on.
Yeah, because Celis was the druid.
Celis was the
Okay.
one who was healing.
Okay, right. So I think I would like to do an encroaching together to try and draw on the memory of what I experienced and try to calm this thing down to be like, hey, here is some kind of familiar presence that you are seeking.
That is very creative, Sebastian. I appreciate that one.
So yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
do encroaching together as a spell
Okay. So what we'll do is you are trying to do
for
that. I will
redirect.
put this, yes, for redirect. I will put this at, this will be 2 scatter. You have 1 dice from, you have 1 die from Weia's ability. Roll that to see if you get a success.
Okay, so you only get the
Roll
one
that. Roll.
die.
You only get the 1 die
Okay,
because the scatter is substituting for automatic successes in a
okay,
way.
yeah,
So
sounds
roll the
good.
1 die,
Let's
but
try
if you all
it.
keep doing this, it's
Then we can just
adding to
keep
the
getting
dice.
die. Well, I got a
Yes.
1, so
You could.
I'm down with an edge success. It could be fun.
Okay, then that would put you at 3, and then you spend 3 from the pool, which would take your group all the way down to two in the pool left after this. So if you're willing to do that, the
Yeah, I'm
edge
willing to do
success.
that. I think that would be good though because your ability will just keep building dice, so that should be an okay trade-off if everyone's happy with that.
All
I'm
right.
okay with that.
With that being the case, you reach a point. I will say your edge success is that as you begin to scatter, Keladrineth, you feel your consciousness being pulled into the creature, much like you did with the first encounter. That is what you would have to experience.
Okay.
That sense of like your body is not just like out of you, it is being pulled towards the creature.
Okay, sure, I'll do that. I did say I needed something to write the professor about. Let's go.
But if you spend the 3, that will get you to 2 advancements towards redirect. Adestia, what are you doing on your turn?
Um, do I have a sense of like, we're trying to get this toward a location, right? All right. Could I just hop on Ransour, which I assume is a thing I can do now because the ceilings are higher than the tunnels?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to try and herding sheepdog like I did with this with the turtle way back, except in the opposite direction. I'm gonna try and loop around
To try
our
and.
lizard friend and try and put it between me and the others and try and drive it in the direction that we're trying to get it to.
Okay. So I assume that that is going to be a skill roll in this case.
Yes.
But is that still going towards trying to redirect it?
Yes, I'm going to
So
try
I
to
will say you
continue.
still get so you still
Yes.
so you will now get 2 dice because it's keeps stacking, correct, Mirm? It keeps adding up
Yeah.
one at a time.
That's so good. That's OP.
It's really
Yes.
good. It's really good.
Yeah, I think like I'm trying to like not only just push it in the direction, but also try and take up the space that it just left so it can't easily, because then it'll have to like get at me for that.
Okay. So pick your facet, see if you have a skill that's relevant for this, and then
I will assume this is
roll.
my writing skill.
Writing fits perfect for this.
It's my writing daring, and do I have anything in my key for this? No. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Oh, geez, where did those go?
You can't keep losing
Let me
dice.
very carefully. They just rolled under my. Okay.
You already lost 1 nice die. Don't lose
Um,
more.
hold on. How many successes did I need? I need 6, right?
You need 6 total. You have 2 in the
2,
pool, so you would
3.
need 4 amongst the ones you're rolling in order to get there.
So I have 3 5s.
Okay.
Hold on, and I have a bunch of auto successes that I need to use. I have so many auto successes.
Yeah,
Can I
you
just
have.
add 2 auto successes to make that what, 5? What did I say? 3 plus
Wait,
5? Yes.
yeah, that would get
Is
you
it
to
three
5
fives?
and
So
Yes.
so 3 5s plus 2 out of 6, that's 5. You need
Yes.
1 more to get you to the 6 you need.
Yes. So I will just take that from the pool.
Okay, so the
Because
pool
living
is down to
risky.
1.
the pool
So
has
the pool
one.
is down to 1. This will advance the goal for the third time. The group only needs 2 more.
Okay.
It is now the entity's turn.
Uh-oh.
Oopsie.
And the group has spent a lot from its pool, so it cannot stop either of these.
Don't worry about it.
It is going to use its first ability, Escalating Tremor. You all watch as it flicks its tail and begins stomping, even as it's being moved away by a Destia and sort of like kited around. It is as though every impact of its feet hitting the ground just starts causing a ripple effect of seismic activity in the cavern. And the ground beneath you is starting to like lose stability. The arena will now be subject to further environmental effects.
Oh dear.
That would have taken three from the pool to prevent that.
Alas, we have 1. It's fine.
It is now going to use its second ability, Tremor of the Earth's Core. This would have taken 6 to prevent this. I need everyone to roll either a sensitivity or daring roll.
Well, we're gonna go with daring. Adding
Just
nothing
like
else, just the facets.
Yeah, just a flat facet.
Just flat facet.
Okay.
I need you to tell me how many successes you get.
1 edge success, if
None.
that counts.
None. Wea, what did you get?
I got 2 successes.
2 successes? I will say that that is enough. Wea, because you succeeded, you take a hit.
Okay.
So you get to choose from the list that is available whether you want to lose access to your highest facet, gain 5 scatter, you can't use ally abilities, lose your next action, or your next crisis action is inevitable. For the rest of your party, you have a choice. You can choose between taking 2 hits or 5 scatter.
Gonna have to take the 2 hits because 5 scatter will kill me. Well, or at least take me out of the scene. So yes. Oh well, isn't it the consequences of my
My own
actions?
Ooh. Quick cue. I have 2 facets that are my highest because they have the same amount. Do I get
You
to
pick
choose
one.
which one? Okay.
Pick one.
Then I choose one of the highest facets that I'm no longer
Yeah,
able
I'm
to
gonna
use.
pick. Yeah, I'm gonna pick. Can no longer use assist abilities and lose access to the highest facet. Which, yeah, I'm not gonna miss subtlety in
Okay.
this situation. I don't think. Although
here's-
famous last words.
So here's my thing. I'm going to take 2 hits, one of which is gain 5 scatter, and the other is lose access to the highest facet. I also have endurance, so I can roll focus twice to clear scatter. Am I understanding that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Works as ability is written and as intended.
Yeah.
I assume focus. I am removing understanding, which is my highest. Well, my understanding with the highest, and adaptability. So when I roll focus, I still have to roll a facet for that, right? Okay. So I'm gonna roll an adaptability roll and focus. Can I apply a key here?
Yes, it is a roll. It is
Okay.
for any skill roll that these apply towards. The
All
only
right,
one that it ever is not is other ones I specify.
Can I make an argument for this as a self-improvement roll?
I'm gonna say yes.
Because I have been doing so bad trying to understand this volcanic thing.
I'm gonna say this is a rare occasion of yes.
All right, I have to roll this twice.
Okay.
That is 2 successes, so I remove 2 scatter. And then I gotta roll it again. That's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I thought that was successes.
1, 2. I can't read these fucking dice. Nope, that's a 2. Oh, and that's 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. So I am back at exactly the amount that I had before.
Fucking love Windswept Cavalier. Cavalier's a tank.
I mean,
love it.
that's a crisis specialty. So
Yeah, that is very helpful. But
I've essentially taken 1 hit essentially.
yep. I want to note, by the way, that ability can only be done if escalating tremor was done previously.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll write that
Damn.
down.
Yeah, that's why with trying to design creatures, one of the fun things you can do with them is that they can only use certain abilities if they do something else previously.
I mean, it makes sense that they can also do their equivalent of like a chord or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
fine.
They're just like, it's like, I have taken the turn. I have changed this terrain to make it shitty for you to do anything. But speaking of shitty for me, it is your turn, everybody.
Question again.
What
So
is it, Mirm?
on a turn, it's not bullshittery yet. Um, um, it's like I can use like facets, spell notes on a turn, and or I can use blur, or can I stack blur with a spell or a facet
You are
attack?
using it is either cast a spell or you are
Yeah.
using blur to use an ability. They
Ooh,
count
okay.
each counts as their own distinct action. And you get
Understood.
1 action on your turn, as
Got
far as I
it.
understand it for the rules.
Got it. Then I do have something would like to do, but if anyone else has anything else that they are
Nah,
thinking
go for
of.
it.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to use my assist ability Symbiosis. So calling my bond, it reads, calling in my bond with the coral spirit, even you can be transformed. Your body is intertwined with or changes to mimic something natural, like an animal, insect, or plant, while you undertake a challenge. And it grants you 2 additional dice.
Jesus.
So I'd like to
Guys, these
spend
are cool.
1 blur to mimic what I believe this creature would look like without the metallic and automaton parts of it, to the best of my ability, obviously. Um,
You became a fucking land iguana is what you've become.
yes, exactly.
I'm
Um,
gonna just pull up an
And then when
image
you
of
do
this
that, do
thing.
you get the additional dice from all of the
yeah. So I
abilities that
get
you've been
5.
stacking? So you get like
I get
5 dice,
I get
5
5
extra
additional
dice.
dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I would like to roll Facet of Understanding. Um, and then I'm like torn between 2 possible ones because my idea for this maneuver is that I create a sort of bond with the creature in saying the name Celis, like I had heard it say before, and saying that like I'm also looking for that. So I'd like to use tactics, if that works.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So
Give that a go. This
understanding.
is for advancing your goal or for adding to your advantage pool.
This is advancing a goal
Okay, and
to
this is a
redirect.
redirect.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, and then I'd like to argue controlling the situation for like control is my keynote.
I will let you. I think that works.
Okay, I need to pull another
You
another
need
dice.
6 successes on this.
Okay.
I mean, you're rolling like a
Uh,
shit ton of dice. You could do
I
it.
am. So I'm rolling
It is doable.
5. I'm rolling 10 dice.
Yeah, you're.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
go on.
Yeah.
Jesus
We
Christ.
Don't worry
stacked.
about it. Just don't worry about it.
Stacked. What can I say? I stacked. I'm so buff. I stacked. Where are all my D6s? Am I using them already? Shit.
What did you get?
I haven't rolled yet. I'm looking for the last.
I do feel like one of the key things I'm discovering with this system is that when a ranger is in their terrain, they do really cool shit. Like they do
Yeah.
some really great stuff.
Yeah, but now I'm at 3 blur, so ooh.
Yeah, that is
It's not gonna be a good time.
you're getting rough, buddy.
I'm getting very rough, buddy. 30 guys! I'm so excited. Come on. Ah! Okay.
Oh wow, the consequence for this blur is also pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
as you gain the consequence for the record, folks, is roots. As you gain blur, pieces of you are absorbed by the world around you. You are part of the land now, so deeply connected that you will refuse to leave. You may lose track of which sensations are affecting your body and which are affecting the scene around you. And once you reach 3, which Weya is at, you may hesitate and look back, reluctant to leave the pieces of yourself that are in the scene. You may identify with the place more and less as your own person, impacted by the place's weather and mood in a way that is difficult to describe.
That's
So
a vibe.
basically, Weya is not going to want to leave this place once this is over.
You're gonna have to drag me out. Both. Anyways.
What did you get?
I rolled 5 full successes and an edge success.
Oh.
Yeah. So, also, I'd like to say before I do all of this, I want to make myself look more like it and also play into my blur a little bit and roll around in the rocks to try to get rocks to stick to my skin. Just for the funnies.
Your companions are just looking at you.
Are
like,
you
"The
are
fuck
you the same
doing?"
size as the big one? Is my question.
No.
I don't
No.
think
You're just
you
a little
are.
guy.
You're
No.
by comparison,
I'm
you're
like-
just a little guy.
I'm like a little bit bigger than your average iguana, but not like
But not like a gigantic one.
I'm not
okay.
even I'm probably not even the length of like Rensur's leg.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
very small still.
You're a little guy.
But I'm just a baby.
Okay.
You're just a little guy, and it's your
Just a little
birthday.
guy. That's my birthday.
It wouldn't pick on it. It wouldn't pick on them.
Don't pick on
It's your
me.
birthday.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
It's the little uwu figures too are making it even better. Okay. So you said you had 5 successes and an edge success, correct?
And I don't want to use the success we have in our
In your pool?
ally pool.
Okay. There. Actually, I know what it is. Your affinity, your growing affinity and connection to this land is going to make it more unstable. It will not cause any eruption,
Yeah.
but the ground around you and your allies is going to grow far less structurally sound if you take this success. Meaning, it will not be the whole island's inhabitants that will be put in immediate danger. It will be the 4 of you.
This is kind of our job. No one's paying us, I don't think, but still.
My family will pay you in food. But
Yeah.
that's later.
Okay, done. Good deal. Great.
We gotta get out
Lol.
of here to eat it though. so
Look,
that-
look, hunger is one of my keys, okay?
valid.
You know what? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
That
great.
would if I had to make a key of what my like main motivations are, hunger would probably be one of
Right.
the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to take that way,
Yep.
that is the third one.
The
That
fourth
is the
one?
Fourth one. Yes, fourth one. Fourth advancement. You're right.
I
Fourth
thought you only
advancement.
needed 2 more. Oh yeah, because it was 5, right? Okay, I can't do mathematics.
Because the
Ignore me.
three of you have gotten full
Yes.
advancement, and now it's back to the turn
Yes.
order.
And the next
But
person
you
gets
have-
4 additional dice.
Yeah.
Yep. You're so proud of yourself, Mirm, for realizing you could do this.
great.
I have to make these encounters harder.
What? No.
Who said that?
What?
I did. I have to entertain myself. But all right, who's going to take their next turn?
Well, we only need one more success, right?
Yeah,
You
go
only
ahead.
need one more advancement. And
One
you're
more
gonna get
advancement?
one more advancement. So you need to reach. If you're going to go shooting for redirect, you need to reach 6 successes.
Oh yes,
You are
yes,
going to
yes.
start no matter what with the 4 dice, because if you choose to do redirect again
Yes,
and advance
yes.
a goal. But now it's a matter of what are you going to do, because you only have one additional like advantage in the pool that you can spend towards this.
Alright,
Yeah.
how immediate? Okay, this is before I decide whether I'm gonna. How immediate does this ground problem seem?
Oh, it's very. This place was not structured that great in terms of structural stability to begin with. like, and considering that you are moving this thing to try and like get it to be not in the worst part of it, you're just kind of spreading it other places.
Okay. I'm gonna say to Kildrenith, if you can solve the problem, I can fix the ground problem.
Sure, I can do that. Well, I mean, I say, yeah, why not? Anything to get us out of this absolute hellhole faster.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
heat, there's
Yeah,
fire, there's no city.
fire. I'm
I
just
hate
like,
this.
I'm dying.
Me as a small iguana is just like swatting at your cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as if to be like, take it off, you fool. Like,
What are you doing?
Yeah, if you can,
It's my face.
yeah, if you can finish it, I can focus on the
Dumbass.
ground.
Okay. I could do that. I could do end encroaching as a spell. You know, as the combination of all the stuff we've done. Seems fitting. Perchance.
What is your goal with doing something with end encroaching?
I want to stop whatever influence this thing has on that's causing the tremors. Yeah. I don't think I can stop everything, but I do think that I can stop this particular creature.
That would immediately solve. This is a massive problem. That would immediately solve it.
Okay.
That would take at least 7 scatter.
Eh. As long as you will promise to like get me out of it, then we can do that.
To be fair, that promise has not been made out loud as of yet.
Yeah, it's true.
I can fix the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm good to do it. I will leave my life once again in the hands of my very
Everyone's
capable
hands?
party
You're-
members.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're using end encroaching, correct, as your spell
Yes.
notes?
Yes.
I'm trying to see.
Like, to be clear, if you do this, it will end it
Yeah.
entirely, because
Yeah.
7 is enough to reach the successes you need, and that will stop the confrontation entirely.
Yeah, I just don't want
Because
them
I
to
mean, this would be our
pass
last thing
out.
anyway, so yeah. I mean,
really don't want
unless
them to pass
unless
out.
you want to do a chord and we split it
That's
up.
why
Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to see which one of mine might help.
I have 4 left that I can take before I pass out.
I also have
so-
4 left that I could take before I pass out. So
Why are you all like
How many
that?
people can wait, hang on. How many people can do a chord?
I think it's
That
multiple
is-
people, right?
Because
Because
if
the
there's all
chord
3 of us, then we might
has
be able to survive.
multiple. Well, no,
Teamwork.
I definitely have 5 left, so I can
Oh,
take
really?
4, and then the 5th one is me passing out.
Okay, well in which case, yeah, because like I have 4 I can take, and that means I can take 3 safely. So that actually would work.
That would work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Power gamer move. Affectionate,
I'd
friendly. Yeah.
so friendly, so affectionately.
So it's the way it's written. In order to cast a chord, both characters need to be
Okay,
acting
that
at the
plays 2.
same time.
Bad.
So I think the limit they're setting for this is 2.
Dang it. Okay, then I'd like to add my spell note chaos in this.
So end chaos.
And
We could
chaos.
do that. That works.
Encroaching in chaos.
Wait.
Whoa.
Wait. Wea is ending chaos? I don't agree with this. That doesn't sound right to me.
What can I say? I'm bringing the chaos, and Caladrenith is ending it. So I'm not ending chaos. I'm bringing it, and then it's being ended by
You're like
somebody else.
And what
channeling the
Kildrenith does
chaos
with
that
it
is
from there,
occurring. Yeah.
not my business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my
With
volcano,
that-
not my iguana.
That's the actual
Somebody
title of
mark-
the episode.
Not my volcano,
Not my iguana.
Mayor, can you be a dear and mark that in our chat as
Just
a
rename-
thing? This timestamp. Not my volcano, not my iguana.
We're renaming the episode right now.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Does that fit in your
This-
poem? I'm so sorry if this ruins your poem.
It does, but I
Ta-da!
may consider it solely because it's so funny. So, If you are willing to split that and you can both do that without passing out.
Yes.
Yes. Let's fix it. And then Adustia can fix the ground. Like, you can just help fix the mess that we make. Is what's gonna happen.
The redirect goal is achieved.
Yay.
The creature is not actively attempting to do anything with the earth that was beneath it. And you watch as this thing that has been thrashing around, that has been angry and trying its hardest to like break away whatever ground and earth that it can, is just being courted, and is just like, it's almost as though it's trying to bat at Ransor and Adestia, like it's an annoying fly that's going around it. It's if its tongue could reach, it would be doing the like lizard thing of like just like trying to get Adestia, but it can't. It's just moved very uncomfortably close to all of you, and the heat emanating off of this thing is sweltering and uncomfortable. And I think the person clearly having the worst time here is Keladrinith, because
Yeah,
Keladrinith
this
wore
is
all
so not my
black.
environment.
This is not fun for Keladrinith, but
Yeah, but also it's called suffering for the aesthetic.
that is the most goth statement I've heard in ages. But as of now, the crisis has been averted. It does not seem to be on a rampage anymore. It is not seemingly reactivating the volcano around it. Right now, it just seems like it's upset, but it doesn't know what to do. Like it's a very irate cat that knows it can't do anything.
Am I
Okay.
able to speak with it because I'm still in iguana form?
I just need to take a second to process that statement. Can I still speak to it because I am in iguana form?
Yes, and I'm covered in rocks.
TTRPGs, everybody.
I think the rocks really sell it, you know?
Thank you so much. I put them on myself.
Damn it, Mirm. Why are you like this? I should know by now that players will take every opportunity to talk to animals. Look, I didn't even make this one cute. This thing breathed a giant gout of fire. But apparently it still needs to be cute, damn it.
Anything can be a little guy if you try hard enough.
Everything is a little guy.
I would say yes, Mirm. Yes, Weya can talk to it.
Yes. Okay. Then I'm starting off real slow. And I just say, Celis?
It looks up agitated at you.
No.
Like it looks it because you've said the name that's relevant, that's important to it. It
Yeah.
now thinks that it's somewhere around here, that she's somewhere nearby.
No, 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 no. Did Celis hurt you? Celis did not hurt you. Did Celis not come when you needed help? Okay. So they didn't come when you needed help.
No, she did show up when they needed help.
Oh, so then Celis messed up?
It's unclear. As
Okay.
far you would have to try and ask it a direct question.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that Keladrenith kind of gave us the 411 about what you had that dream about?
Oh, I fully did, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay. So
Yeah,
then,
everyone's all caught up on that. Yeah.
yeah. So then I would ask, like, did Celis betray you or heal someone that they weren't supposed to? So then are
You
you
you you hear it like speak. It is not understandable at all to Keladrinith or Adestia, but to you, Ea, considering you have taken a similar form to it, you roughly translated, you get the sentiment, where is my friend supposed to protect friend? Goal is to
Oh.
protect friend.
Oh.
Where is friend?
So does Celis have many friends that protect Celis? Because I met a turtle who was also looking for Celis.
Only has one friend.
And you are friend.
I am friend.
You are friend.
I'm Sarah.
You are Sarah.
And as it says that, you then hear a robotic voice that all of you can understand speak and saying, "Warning, designation Odette is suffering psychological duress. Must return to original deployment area. Must reconvene with Sarah." The creature just it's seemingly having two different sets of conflicting impulses going through it. As far as you can understand, Wea, it thinks it's Sarah.
Yeah.
And as it said that to you, you watched as shadowy aspects of the body, the solidified bits of shadow, flared up when they said that. They moved from being solid to that ethereal kind of shroud that the rest of the previous automatons had. But when it speaks in the mechanical voice, it's seemingly like as though it's speaking a directive that it's been given.
Does Sarah have to go?
Sarah is here. I need to find friend. I need to protect friend.
Well, you just said that you had to go and go back to your place. So must you go?
I should go.
Mm.
But I'm here. I should go. I should go. Here. Go here. It the voice that it uses when it's trying to talk to you, Wea, it sounds like it's very confused, like it doesn't understand what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, the mechanical voice calls out again. Warning, designation overland driven emergency tracking terrain excavator.
Oh.
Code name Odette. Return to Sarah deployment unit. Return
But
to Sarah deployment unit.
before it moves, since I'm getting a sense that it might move, if it moves, is this entire floor collapsing under us?
Who knows? So
Okay.
what if we follow it to Sarah unit? Because I haven't heard the rest of this conversation, but what if we just follow it?
I turn around to all of you hearing that and nod my head, thinking the same thing.
That's a spell real quick before anybody moves.
Yes.
Can I cast restoring surface on the ground?
Amazing.
Ooh, that's a
Love that.
great.
Please.
That's that is a great. I just that's props for Gena coming up with a perfect spell name.
I've been
Restoring
so worried about this
surfaces.
floor.
Yes,
Now, like,
this
we're
entire floor.
all fine now, but if anybody shifts any weight, I'm real worried about this.
Yeah, no, it's actually good. I will say that is a solution to a smaller problem. So I'd probably put that in the range of like 4 scattered to do
Oh, I can
that.
take that.
So 4 scatter. Also,
Okay.
yes, bless level-headed Adestia.
Yeah, before this giant thing moves, because where we've got it right now, everything's nice and balanced. Because I have learned from these rocks during this combat that rocks very delicate despite being very large. That is what I have learned.
The other thing you've learned as well, the other thing you see, and it's very good that you did that, is the moment that like it's because it's so confused with its own memories, it's like moving around its head, and also its tail is beginning to thrash
yeah.
around.
Buddy.
And as its tail starts to thrash, you start hearing like bits of rock starting to fall, which is right about when Adestia's magic goes off.
Yeah, I've learned that volcano rocks is not really that different from like Earth. It's just a different type of Earth. That's what I've learned. Learning very simple things here.
Just
I
like
have
a
to-
forest, like I said.
Okay. Okay, now we can move, hopefully. And maybe
It's
follow it. I think it's a good idea, yes. I think Hildreneth is onto something.
Can I climb on its head?
I would like you to roll for this, but yes.
What do I need to roll?
Give me a moment as I process this request.
I would like to use daring and athletics.
That you know what? Daring and athletics are perfect for this.
And then a keynote curiosity.
Yeah, this is a very fuck around and find out moment.
Yeah, this is I will tell you right now, this is a difficulty 3. This is a
Okay.
massive creature that is very upset and does not like it where it's at right now.
Great. I'm rolling 6 dice. I dropped one. Okay.
I need to know when all of your birthdays are so I can get you dice trays.
I do, but
I
it's kinda
have one.
fucked.
It's more I have no space to put it.
I have one. It's kind of
Hold it
fucked
in
up.
your
I'll show
hand,
you.
Roll it there, for fuck's sake, people. I
Hey,
thought
I'll
you
sho-
just didn't have one.
I'll just
No, yeah,
I'll show
I
it to you when I'm done.
have any.
It's kind of fucked up. It's like kind of actually super fucked up. Anyways, I rolled 2 6s and a 5.
Hey,
That is
nice.
amazing.
I've done it.
As you move close to this thing, Wea. Well, actually, you used your 3 blur, right? You're at 3
Yeah.
blur right now, right? You don't want
That's
to
what-
leave here.
Well, that's why I'm trying to meld with that thing because for me that thing is part of the scene. And so I feel like I'm not actually leaving the scene because I'm
That's smart.
attaching myself to that
You
thing.
know what? You know what? That is the correct kind of bullshit. I like that because technically this thing
This
still
is-
feels like the scene.
All right, let me take notes.
This is gonna be
and
a
I'll
later
take
problem.
correct
No, this
kind
will be
of
a
bullshit.
significantly later problem.
So wait, if I want to take notes for the correct kind of bullshit, what
Yeah.
what do I need to write down?
I just need you to frame it
It's a
within
reasonable
the
argument.
Yes, exactly.
Like bullshit is a reasonable argument. Like I know
But
That's
that's
all
not
that
a
it
reasonable
is.
argument, bullshit.
Fun. I like doing bullshit argument though.
No, I do too. But that's for lulls. If you want to actually accomplish something, you need at least a half-assed reasonable argument.
I feel like I've given so many half-assed reasons. Here we are.
Okay. And also,
I'm
I
on
am
top of it.
sincerely also following this thing is sincerely contingent upon it not leading us to further warm places. I'm really hoping that like by the Sarah deployment unit, it's going to be somewhere reasonable. We'll see.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Where is it going?
3 or below, somewhere with air conditioning. We'll see. So
Please.
3 or below, it leads you somewhere more unpleasant.
Okay.
4 or above, it leads you somewhere okay. That was a 2.
Fuck.
Shit.
So
Fine.
it is less that it leads you somewhere distinctly worse. It is the manner in which it is moving that is unpleasant. and that this is still a massive iguana kaiju trying to make its way through a subterranean space.
With a
And
tiny
you're-
little iguana on his head.
Yes.
I mean, it also got here somehow, so like, could it just go back the way it came?
You do take note that there is a massive break in the wall
Yeah.
some distance away. It is trying to go in that direction. It's also not being subtle or the most careful while doing so. Its tail is lashing about and hitting the ceiling, and you do get the sense that the ceiling is going to collapse at some point.
So, what if I just like walk underneath it?
Just like dealing with the rain, like you have an umbrella, except that the
Yeah,
umbrella
except
is
it's
an
a large
iguana
thing.
kaiju.
Yeah.
You
Carefully.
you keep moving along. And there's just a lot of dark for a while. Slowly going up an incline. By the way, Ransor is very miserable throughout this entire
Naturally.
process. He's just continues to be miserable. He was like, I was kiting this thing, now I'm having to trot beside this damn fucking iguana.
A little gruff is his default state, so this is it's not good.
No, it's not good.
Does he get it from you or do you get it from him?
Yes.
Chicken or egg.
Yeah.
But you keep going and you make it all the way back to the surface. It is early in the morning. It is, you're tired, you're exhausted. There is like, you are in a tropical jungle. It is humid as fuck in this place.
Is there any water nearby?
There's water you brought with you.
Ugh.
There is no
I mean, like a
other
pond or
fresh-
something. That would be great. Need a bath.
There is one pond nearby if
Yes.
you want to go. The iguana automaton keeps traipsing in a different direction.
Okay. How fast is it?
It's less about how fast it is and more about how much ground its steps cover. As a note, iguana kaiju. I just want to
Yeah.
keep re-emphasizing.
Okay,
how
fine.
big
Well,
this
maybe there'll be
fucking
water
thing
where it's
is.
going. I mean, it also needs to drink at some point too.
You
Possibly.
assume.
Yeah. I said possibly.
But it keeps moving. It keeps, I believe the proper term here is just traipsing
Yeah.
along. And it eventually reaches the coastline. There is a pause as the creature finally seems to like settle down for a second. And then you see something in the distance. To be clear, you're on the coast of the island, not the coastline back on the Coral Coast.
Okay.
You see, it looks like from a distance in the waters surrounding the island, what at first looks like bubbling coming out of it. And then you see what looks like a person emerging out of it. The shape is humanoid, and most of its appearance, if you didn't give them a second look, looks human, like a ranger just like you. Half-shaven head on one side, long, almost like strawberry, or like tints of red with flakes of like blondish hair, deep brown skin. There's scars across their face, but they don't look as though they've been embedded into skin. It looks as though almost like there's bits of metal that have dents across their face. and at just little spots around their joints, you can see bits of metal. And as they're slowly coming up out of the water, you see surrounding them in much the same way as everything else has for the previous creatures you've encountered, that shroud of inky, dark, foggy, ethereal energy. As designation Odette has made it back to Sarah. And that is where we're going to end the session for today.
We're going places.
I'm just a little iguana.
Yeah.
That's all.
Halfway through, folks.
Yeah.
This point where things change. Well done with handling this crisis, and thank you very much to all the folks who've been watching us either from the start of the session or the start of the series, or you just came in partway through and were like, hey, want to chill out and see what's going on here. I'm gonna go around and let everyone hype up who they've been, where we can find you, and then we're going to pass it over to our producer, Mayor, to give us a breakdown of what's happening in the future. But I will start. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, they pronouns, and I've been your conductor. I can be found over I can be found in most social media at Phoenix24Fem. I've basically grabbed it on a lot of different places, but if you want to see me being a player, you can find me over in a Girl by Moonlight series, Daughters of Io, on Valdrian's channel on Thursdays. I believe it is 6 p.m. EST, 3 p.m. PST. So if you want to see me being a trans egg who's having a bit of a time right now and trying to really, really manage a lot of stress that she did not realize she had, go check me out over there. And with that, I'm going to pass it on over to Sebastian.
Right. Hello, I'm Sebastian. I use they, them pronouns. Honestly, I'm pretty much always doing stuff. You can find me on my website, sebastianua.ca, or on Blue Sky at sebastianua.bsky.social. And if you're looking for actual play stuff, then I do Roads Uncharted every Friday evening. So thanks for having me.
Fantastic. I'm going to pass it on over to Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. Use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Blue Sky at Gena Fan, like Jonathan, but with Gena at the front. I'm currently not sure what my schedules are, but I am also on this channel in the Tales from the Loop game, which we are scheduling. We're figuring out the schedule as far as I know. Check out the channel schedule for more about that.
Gonna pass it on over now to Mirm.
Hi everybody, my name is Mirm. I use she, they pronouns, and tonight I played Wea, our volcanic tracker, and our lead person for this session, who uses they, them pronouns. And there's a lot going on. There's not a lot that's been announced for me, but Nerds with Dice is hosting a 48-hour continuous live stream this upcoming weekend to raise money for the Trans Justice Funding Project. And I'm going to be on 3 different sessions on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So head over to their channel anytime this weekend and see what we're up to, because we have around 10 games happening back to back to back. So it's gonna be a party. A big old gay party.
Well, the gays are gonna have a fun time this month because at the time of us being on live right now, it is Pride Month. So as always, be gay everywhere. Be the kind of queer you want to see in the world, scaring a lot of conservatives. And if you want to know about some more very queer actual plays and programming happening, Mare can let us know. Mare, take it away.
Oh, hi, that is me. It is my turn. As folks have already mentioned, it is Pride Month, and we are raising a bunch of money for a bunch of amazing projects, along with one raising money for here, Trans Lifeline. A bunch of our other games are also raising money for Lambda Legal. The full schedule is on our Blue Sky, but as a quick recap, on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we have part 2 of Pride and Wrath at 4 p.m. Pacific. On Thursday at 5:30 Pacific, we have episode 3 of Under Blue Moon, a Summer in Woodlake game. On Friday, the 20th and the 27th, Kayla is doing a special paint night stream where she's going to be painting dragons in pride colors that were voted on in our Discord server. So if you want to get in on the voting, join our server. She'll be doing those, and they will also be given away at some point during the Lambda Legal streams. So if you want to potentially win a really cool pride dragon that Kayla painted, just tune in and keep an eye out for everything. Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific, we have a special character development scene of Horizon's Call. We don't have a live game tonight, but we do have a special pre-recording. On Sunday at 3 p.m., we have Cursed Captains of Cthulhu, which is a eldritch pirates doing creepy shit on islands and maybe dying. I don't know about that last part, but it's eldritch horrors, so I think that's a safe assumption. And on Wednesday, the 25th, I will be running a game of the Devil's Dandy Dogs at 4 p.m. Pacific, where dogs are going to be really, hellhounds are going to be really good doggos catching souls for the devil. It is adorable and cute. And I think that's it. We will see everybody next week. Stick around for the raid. We are going to raid Meadowlark Productions, which is a Monster of the Week charity game. So, bye, folks.